Hi, folks. It's Chris Voss here from the Chris Voss Show.com, the Chris Voss Show.com. I believe we are live now on YouTube. Welcome to the Chris Voss Show.com podcast. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at YouTube/Chris Voss. That's YouTube, YouTube.com/Chris Voss. So we're going to talk about two products today that we've got here that we find are pretty interesting. Let's see here. We've got DLink. I use DLink throughout the house, and they're a great system. In fact, they work well with IFTTT, if this, then that. I always get that mixed up. So anyway, this is their brand new HD Pan and Tilt Wi-Fi camera. And as you can see here, it rotates around, up and down, and everything else. It's got some different things on it that are very cool. You can use it with a mobile app, or you can view it on a computer or other things. HD clarity, it's 720 HD. That's pan and tilt, so you can go 360. I don't know if you can go full 360. We're going to find that out when we do the full review and hook this baby up. We just unboxed it. And tilt where it goes up and down. Motion and sound detection, so you'll receive alert notifications when that happens. It's got a micro SD slot where you can record directly onto a micro SD card. Day and night, you can see up to 16 feet in the dark. Remote viewing on your mobile devices, which is really good. I use that actually a lot. Search and playback recorded video that you've taken and kept. You can pinch and zoom with a closer look. Save snapshots directly to your mobile device, and enable motion and sound detection with automatic alarms. You can even build your own do-it-yourself security system using, in addition to this, you don't get it in this box, the My DLink camera recorder. So it's a special thing you can see there, right there at the bottom. Let's go over there, right there. So you can see here they've also got apps for Windows. The App Store for Apple and Google Play. So let's take a look at this baby now that we've just unboxed it out of the box. So this looks really sturdy. I've seen a few different versions of these out of China, and this one looks really sturdy, and of course professionally well built, being D-Link. You've got a front, different indicators for WPS, power buttons, and everything else. And this head will rotate up and down. I'm not sure how far, but we'll find out when we do the full review. And of course, this will rotate back and forth this way. I don't want to mess up the gears in it, so I'm not going to do that. You've got a rotating antenna here on the bottom. And also, you've got a place where you could mount this. If you want to take it and mount it, screw it into a thing. And they also make a plate for it, or just as your standard grip mounts on the bottom. Across the back, you've got a place for your micro SD card, the charging plug-in. Looks like we've got a WPS plug, and of course where to plug in your cable so you can take and utilize that. Comes of course the manual, which is always good to have. The plug, which is always good to have. It's always good to have a charging plug. And then it even comes with a screw mount mounting thing. So if you want to mount this to the wall, and then you want to screw this to the base of this baby, you can do that as well. And then it's got a little armature that'll go up and down, and of course you can screw that depending upon what angle you want to use. So very cool that way. You can go to D-Link's website and check it out. Let me see if they have their website readily available on the box. DLink.com, I believe, is where you want to go, or you can Google it. The HD Pan and Tilt Wi-Fi camera that's new from D-Link. One of the great things is here in my house, we have a few different things that are D-Link between routers, Wi-Fi routers. I also have plugs that run on the D-Link system. There's a siren that runs on the D-Link system. And up in my washroom, we actually have a D-Link sensor that runs along the area of my washer, so that if my washer ever spills or there's water that comes out of the washer or the wall, it will take and alert me by notifications on the phone, and it will also sound the alarm. Excuse me. So very cool that way in working with the house and everything else. The nice thing is with the if this then that system, I can take and integrate different applications or even different companies' products for IoT and get them to route through and do things as well. So very cool that way and multifaceted in the aspects of what you can have. I really enjoy having it set up to where my house is protected with the IoT stuff, and I know that, okay, if I want to turn on a light or turn on something from anywhere in the world across my Wi-Fi, that I can get Wi-Fi on my mobile phone, I can do that as well, or my computer. I can log in and see what's going on with the cameras, going on with my house. These things were indispensable when I was at this year when I was at the Dent conference in Sun Valley, and I went, and it was the first time I disappeared for 4 days and left Freya alone. So it was pretty scary because I wasn't sure that my leather couch there, you see over here in this general area, was going to just be like a shredded mess when I got home. So I was constantly paying attention to notifications, and at one point she started freaking out. She tore up a cardboard box, and I had to kind of, last 24 hours, I was pretty much talking to her, keeping her calm, and communicating her through the cameras that we had here in the house. So we're going to set this up. We're going to review this on the Chris Voss Show. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Voss. Another treat here in store. These are the Samsung, not to be confused with Samson headphones. These are the Z45s. They're professional studio headphones, they say. Very light, super light. And you can kind of see how they're designed here. They've, of course, turn and swivel. Let me make sure I go the right way so I don't break them. So they can turn, swivel, and kind of fold up really nice and neatly, so that you can easily take them with you places. What's interesting is when I first saw these, I was like, well, the head doesn't look like, it looks pretty small for Chris Voss, but it actually does a huge spanning thing, and it's pretty tight, comfy, and there's nice and lots of play here with the cushion at the top, if you will. And they look good. They look really good. So we got the left and the right here, and then they gave us a really long cord. And what's really cool is that one end of the cord has actually got a screw thing. So if you do want to screw that into stereo that has screw mounts, you can do that as well. Also, with their headphones, there's a twist and turn mechanism that holds these babies in so that you can't, you ever been running around, you end up ripping them out. There is a long play in the one cord they gave us, and there's a second cord that comes with it, as long as a really cool kind of leatherish looking bag unit there, if you will. So, the Samsung Z45 professional studio headphones. You can probably go to their website and take a look at that. Let me see if we got a website here on the back. samsuntech.com. That's samsuntech.com. And you can check those out. So let's give these a listen. Going with the left and right here. And I think we should be fitted perfectly. Now I have a giant head. Anytime I test out headphones, I have a giant head. So if they don't fit, there's a problem. But these are fitting. Let me adjust them just a little bit. And let's go ahead and give them a listen. Of course, you won't be able to hear anything, but you kind of get to see what I think of them. I had the volume all the way turned up. Definitely a great sound. Lots of high end. Not hearing a lot of strong bass. But they do say these are designed to be professional studios, so there is a screw-in point here. Maybe they sound better if you put them into a... Let's try another song here. Maybe they sound better if you put them into a professional studio plugin. That sounds really nice. I'm playing the Eagles' Hell Freezes Over from their Hell Freezes Over tour, and it's Hotel California Live. And I really like the way, when I listen to headphones, how it sounds and the quality, and just especially that beginning part with the acoustic guitar is just so beautiful and so well, what's the word I'm looking for? Just wonderfully produced. So it comes out just really crisp, really sharp. But then the beautiful timbales come in, and you got that bass and everything else. Okay, so we're getting some pretty good bass here and mid-range. It just depends on the song you're going to play and where accents brings it out. So definitely like the high end of where this is at and where it's playing. It's not too low-endy. It's not too rappy on the low end. It's got a nice mid-range, and the sound is just really crisp. I can hear the different layers, different dynamics in the sound. So yeah, definitely interesting. So I'm going to take and put this down for a second. And you can, of course, see what they look like. Do they make me look sexier than I really am? Or not? I don't know. You be the judge of it. But you probably look better than I do in them. But yeah, definitely good looking. A little plasticky on the parts here. A little plasticky on the things, but I'm not sure the price point on this. I imagine they're fairly inexpensive. I've been really loving the Samsung microphone that you're actually listening to this broadcast on. It might end up replacing my blue microphone. We got to do some further testing with it. But yeah, definitely, and they're very light, incredibly light. So you can check those out, the Samsung Z45 headphones. I'm really interested to put this in. I want to see how far this goes around, swivels around. Let's see if we can get our focus back into place there. There we go. Yeah, this should be interesting. I love the DLink products that I've gotten. Definitely one of my favorite products to get, whether it's networking hubs or cameras or some of the other Internet of Things, IoT stuff. And, like I say, everybody comes to me and they go, Chris, you reviewed this, you reviewed that, but what do you use? What do you keep in your house? And I can honestly tell you, DLink is one of the things that we use. One thing I especially like is their Wi-Fi plugs. So there's one right over here, and even though I'm sitting close to it, I'm too lazy to get up and turn it on. So I can just go, DLink app, you're up. And they're throughout the house and everything. So we've gotten their networking hubs, we've gotten their cameras. They make some really interesting and very cool cameras, as hopefully this one will be, but it should feel it feels really good. The siren's really important. I'll tell you a story about my DLink stuff that actually is a story that precludes or predates me getting involved with DLink reviews. And unfortunately, I wish I'd had them. But a couple years ago, I was living in a property, and the owner had installed some washing machines, and they were his washing machines. And one day, the automatic shut-off in the panel that's designed to go, the tub is full, cut off the ends, the water that's coming in, decided to go out. And so when it did, it ended up flooding the wash area, the kitchen, and the into parts of the home. It's pretty bad. Fortunately, I caught it very quickly and was able to soak stuff up. And then, so we had the people that had sold it to us come out and check it, and they insisted that it was fine. They said, you must have done something wrong here. So we ran it again, and it worked fine. We watched it. Turns out it was only doing it when you ran hot water. So the next time I ran hot water, did it again. It was pretty bad the second time. So the insurance claims had to come up. We had those guys come, tear up the house, tear up the floors. We had mold growing in the washroom. It was a real nightmare. Just a nightmare. And the real important thing is to be able to catch this as soon as you possibly can when these things happen. And for I don't know what it ended up costing the owner, because it was his machines, it was his fault. And I just went, you own them, they break, they're yours. If they were my washing machines, we probably have a different story, but they were his. So, there probably was maybe, I don't know, $5,000, $10,000 worth of damage. Who knows? It depends on what they decided to do. I think they wanted to refloor the whole place anyway, so they did, and use that as a way to get done. But I think the DLink siren, I know that I think the cable only runs like $100. That's the sensor, and it really works. It's like a cord that lays down. And as soon as it senses water, man, that sucker goes off. It lets your phone know. If you have the siren from D-Link like I do, it screams the siren um, and can wake up the whole house. It's just crazy. You can program all this stuff, and you can even IFTTT it, if this then that.com, and you can alert other people. There's like a million things you can do to let people know. So I'd highly recommend you take a look at their products, especially that one, because for $100, when it, my brother, another story I have is my brother had his neighbor, and he lives in Utah where they have deep basements, and you have a whole area in your basement. His neighbor just decided one day to leave the sprinklers on for too long, and it floods down into the windows that are in the basements that they have there, and of course flooded part of his basement. And there's water damage involved in all that sort of stuff. And there's the scary part is mold. You get mold, you can end up with some serious health problems from mold. So he had that happen to him, and this would have been a great way for him to get an indication that there was issues. I know some people in Utah that live by lakes that sometimes the water table will rise and it will just come right up to their basement. They usually have drains in those basements. And it will just come right up and flood your basement. Away you go. So definitely, the D-Link product with the water sensor is really an important product to have, and one I'd highly recommend. So you go to D-Link and check out their stuff. You go to Samson, check out the Z45s. And the smartest thing you want to do is watch the full reviews, the full unboxings we did, so you can see what you get in these and everything else. And go to youtube.com/Chris Voss and follow us there. So thanks for tuning in to the podcast, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for coming by.